you, what up? Welcome to my channel. Maryam here. Today I am reviewing the new product from Huda Beauty, the Easy Blur Foundation, as well as the new primer. So these are new products for the relaunch of Huda Beauty, the brand, with Huda, the woman, back as the CEO. This is supposed to be a really promising, super easy product to wear. It's supposed to blur your complexion, your pores, infused with great ingredients, lots of shades. So you know what I'm gonna do in this video. I'm gonna test it out. I'm gonna review it for you guys. I'm gonna swatch the shades that I have here, as well as conduct my famous wear test. That is what I do on this channel, so this is what you come here for. I give you the truth, and I'm gonna give you the truth. So be sure to watch till the end. Remember to subscribe if you aren't already. Notifications bell so that you don't miss any of my videos. And now let's hit it. Huda Beauty Easy Blur Foundation review and wear test. Here we come. 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. It is finally here. Huda Beauty Easy Blur Foundation. And this is the PR package. I have 3 shades. There's also a new Easy Blur primer, as well as the Easy Bake Powder. This is not new. This has been in existence for a minute now. There's also a brush. But what's exciting about this product is that this is the first product that Huda, the woman, has launched since the rebranding of Huda Beauty, the brand. So now she is back as CEO, and this is the first relaunch product. Apparently, none of these images have been retouched. This is what this product claims, that it completely filters the face, looks airbrushed on the skin. It's supposed to be a very easy serum-like product to give you an easy routine. The ultimate, no filter needed, ultra blurred complexion. That is exactly what my needs are personally when it comes to a foundation, a skin tint, skincare, anything really. I just want it to be easy. I want it to do its job. I want it to last. I want it to blur my imperfections, smooth my skin texture, cover my acne spots, my dark spots, whatever. So there are 40 shades altogether. This is a $37 product, serum-like I said. It is infused with 1.5% niacinamide, which is known to help smooth pores. Also has some pore blurring silica, non-comedogenic, and it's supposed to give you an airbrushed, flawless type of finish. So I've got 3 shades here that I'm gonna test out first and foremost. I'm gonna start with the lightest to the darkest. Also looks like these are made in Italy, so that is promising. I do like the packaging, very small and compact, squeezy tube. All right, first shade that I have here is Latte 300N. I'm also gonna swatch it on my neck. I feel like my neck is probably my truest shade. I never tan it. It kind of looks the same all year round. My face is very discolored. Right now I am post-run. I just got out of the shower after a run with my sister. She's here. Woohoo! Having a little sister weekend together. And so I'm a little bit flushed in the face. You could probably still tell. So on my face, it's so funny. This neutral shade looks a little bit yellow, but on my neck, which is like my natural shade, this neutral shade looks a little bit peach. Next shade we have here is the Tres Leches 320G Golden Undertone. This is the shade that I typically use in Huda Beauty foundations, or at least the shade that they always match me to. I'm not sure if it's my actual shade, but honestly, it looks damn close to my neck. Like, you could barely tell that I have anything on. So honestly, they're probably right. And then the third shade that I have here is Amaretti 310G, which is another shade that I sometimes use. But honestly, this looks just a little bit too yellow and too saturated compared to the middle shade, which looks a pinch more olivey, I guess. Yeah, so I would say the Tres Leches 320G is for sure my shade. It matches perfectly with my neck, so that's the one that I'm gonna go with. Off the bat, I can tell that this is a pretty pigmented product. It feels serum-like, I would say, but I have no idea how it wears, how it spreads out, so I'm gonna give it a go right after I do my famous, or shall I say infamous, thumbnail face. Let's test it. Easy Blur. 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. Will this work or not? Be sure to watch to the end though. So now let's wipe it all off. Got my micellar water back. So now I don't have to fix plus to actually remove my makeup. If this is your first time watching my channel, I should probably let you know my skin type, my skin concerns. I have an oily skin type, also very acne prone, although in the summertime, I'm a lot less acne prone. My skin is a little bit more balanced, a little bit more normal in the summertime than in the wintertime. My skin does not like humidity, and even though it is humid in New York in the summertime, for whatever reason, my skin just acts better. My natural undertone is like a golden olive, I would say, but not too saturated. I would say I have a muted golden olive undertone, and I do have a lot of discoloration in my face. My face is many shades lighter than the rest of me, and when I match my foundations, I almost always like to match my foundations to my neck so that they kind of flow with the rest of me. And like also my ears, things like that. So now I'm gonna test out this primer. So the primer is $29 or 36 euros, and it will be available online and in store from September 2nd. It does say so here. So for those of you who always ask me to tell you the date, this product actually tells us the date. All right, here it says that you need to use 2 finger lengths worth of primer for your entire face. So kind of like a sunscreen. All right, let's try it. I feel like that might be a lot of product for me, but let's see. This definitely does feel silicone-y, cooling on the face. And I know that these two products are meant to work together, sort of in tandem. I'm not really seeing that much of a blur, to be honest. It does feel really nice, like a good skin prep should, but very, very similar to the Glowish primer that Huda released about a year ago. It was like a jello or like a putty type of primer. This feels very, very similar. All right, I am gonna go for this shade Tres Leches. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to apply this with a sponge. Actually, I'm supposed to apply this with a brush, and I have the brush here. This is the base brush. So let's go for it. Oh, this is very cute. I like that the brush handle kind of reminds me of the primer. It has that sheer but tinted putty-like, I guess, consistency or look. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to shake this up or not, but let's just go for it. All right. I'm gonna start with just a little bit, although it says that the more you apply, the more you blur. This feels like a pretty creamy formula. I'm gonna start with my forehead, I guess. Okay. So at first impression, this does dissipate into nothing. I do really like the Tres Leches shade in this product. I'm not crazy about that shade in Huda's other foundations. I feel like it doesn't match me as well as this one. Or maybe it's because this one is just a little bit sheer. But yeah, I gotta say, this applies really, really effortless. It almost feels like it doesn't need to be set. And for someone like myself, someone who has oily skin, I never really not set any of my face-based products, but this feels light enough and self-setting enough that I would dare say that I'm not actually eager to reach for my powder. Okay, so you saw that I added just 3 small squirts on my forehead and on each cheek. The match is really, really good. It's evened out my skin tone. It's gotten rid of any redness. The finish, I would say, is very natural. It has a slight mattified effect. And I definitely see the blur. I can see the blur in my monitor. I can see it in my close-up mirror here. I can kind of see it in my further away mirror. That's like at an arm's length. Like I said, it doesn't feel like it needs to be set. So there isn't that sticky feeling that you typically get with foundations, especially dewy foundations that are so trendy and popular now, like the Patrick Ta. But it still does leave you with this nice, healthy glow. Not a radiant glow, not a luminous glow, not a dewy glow, but just a very natural skin-like type of finish. All right, I'm gonna add just a little bit more to see if I can build it up. Not that I would need to. I am someone who likes to show off my freckles in the summertime. My freckles are always a little bit more pronounced in the summertime, naturally, and I really like them, so I like to let them shine. But you know what? Just for the sake of testing this product, I'm gonna add a little bit more to my freckle area specifically, just to see how well this covers, to see if it's buildable, and if that statement is true, the more you add, the more you blur. Let's see. So I'm gonna use the same foundation brush. Yeah, I can definitely see that I'm building up the coverage with just that one tiny little extra squirt of product. You could see my freckles much less now, and there is indeed more blur. Huh, this is very, very interesting. And here in this area is where I have some more pronounced acne spots and a little bit more pores. So let's see. Yeah, I really do think that it's helped. My one criticism is this brush. It is just entirely too big for spaces like in between my brows. Like there's no way I can fit this in between my brows without actually getting the product all over my dark ass brows. You know, I can't exactly fit it onto my lids without getting it on my lashes. I can't exactly go into the crevices of my nose. Yeah, so I wish there was another side to this, like a precision brush, but that's okay. Let me show you a close-up. Ooh! This hair. Okay, forehead. See how natural it looks? Almost like I'm not wearing anything. This side of the face, not as great in the iPhone camera, honestly. It looks a little bit textured, but I don't think the iPhone camera is doing it justice. I think it's somehow reflecting the light in a not so flattering way, because this for sure looks better in person than it does in this footage right now. Granted, I was very, very close to that camera. All right, so now that you have seen the close-up of just the product itself on my face, let me add some concealer. I'm gonna use the Yensa Beauty Cream Concealer just under my eyes. I'm gonna keep it very, very basic and minimal today. We are going to K-Pot with my sister, my best friend, and her daughter, who's around my sister's age, and also the swatch model, of course. And so I'm really gonna get a chance to test out this product in some steamy elements, if you know what I mean. Add a little bit of brightness around my nose, obviously in between my brows, just for a little bit of a lift. And I think that's it. There's like a zit that I have here that I don't know if I want to do anything to. Also, this product doesn't look like it blurs larger textures such as bumps. I think it works pretty good on finer texture like pores and smaller acne scars, but if you have big bumps, don't expect it to cover or blur or smooth that. I feel like larger spots are just like harder to handle with a creamy product. I feel like they're much easier to handle with powders. Okay, so now that I've said all that, let me use some powders to set all of this in place. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the Huda Beauty Cherry Blossom Cake for my under eye. This is actually my favorite powder from Huda. It smells so good. It is very fragrant, but I'm a fan of the fragrance. I'm also gonna take this powder all the way down and kind of set my pores. Although I don't like to do that with this particular powder, I feel like the Huda Beauty powders, and specifically this Easy Blur Serum Light Foundation, were formulated to work with this powder, so I gotta try it. I think I like what I see, and I'm not mad at it. I'm gonna set the rest with just a light touch of the Bare Minerals Bare Pro Matte Powder Foundation. This is shade Medium 35 Warm. Just gonna gently set everything else, and then I'm gonna show you one more close-up of what this looks like powdered down. Let's start from far away, and let's zoom in. Here's this side of the face, forehead, this side of the face, pores. Oh, it can't focus. It's so blurry, can't focus. I do like the way that it looks. I'm not crazy about the way that it looks in my iPhone camera. I feel like that's the only one thing that's keeping me like reluctant. But the way that it looks in my monitor, the way that it looks in my mirror is really good, and I can't complain. It's just the iPhone is like throwing me off a little bit. Sometimes it does that with certain products. It just magnifies, it amplifies texture. It makes things look worse than how they look in real life. And I always have to remind myself of that. And I also have to remind you, the viewers, just keep that in mind. The iPhone isn't always correct, and it doesn't always make things worse. Sometimes it makes things better, but sometimes, like half the time, it makes things worse. So do with that what you please. This is the face, this is the base. So far, I really like the way that it looks. I gotta see how it wears. It is indeed a very easy to apply, easy to wear type of product. It feels very lightweight on the skin. So all that's left is the wear test. So let's go to K-Pot. And let's cue in that good old time warping music for that wear test. Okay, I am back. And here is the face. This has been a very long wear test. 10 hours if I'm not mistaken. And this is the skin at the end of the day. Yeah. So as you can probably tell, and as I can definitely tell, the Easy Blur Foundation is not strong enough to withhold my oils for 10 hours. I am a very oily skin type, and although it's worn relatively decent in the perimeter of my face, not really, girl, not even really. I can't say this has worn very well on me. And also, this would be my third time blotting today. So let's go ahead and blot and see what that looks like. Okay, once you blot that little bit of shine off, it definitely looks better. But the fact that this is my third time doing that today just tells you how incompatible this product is with oily AF skin like mine. Moreover, I'm noticing that I got a bump right here, I got a little pimple, and I got another little pimple right here. Neither one of these I had before, so that's a little bit alarming to me. Granted, I don't typically wear my makeup for 10 hours, so this just could be regular wear and tear, if you will. But still, it is something that I noticed. Overall, I will say this Easy Blur Foundation does look pretty nice upon its initial application. It definitely has some blurring capabilities. It definitely makes the skin look prettier, and it is a very easy to use product. However, I can't say that this is a long-lasting product on someone who has very oily skin like myself. You definitely will need to blot throughout the day. I blotted 3 times, once in front of you, and I feel like I still have some blotting left to do. So will I reach for this again? I probably will in the winter time or in the colder weather months. Maybe I will reach for this if I remember. But for the humid times of the year, this is just not strong enough for me. So that is my wear test. That is my story. That is my review. And I hope it is helpful to you. So with that said, I'm gonna zoom on out. I'm gonna wish you guys a farewell. Peace out. I'm out.